what she had to say.
Caitlyn kind of crashes out on the ref at USA Basketball.
Yes.
You guys know I would crash out on refs a lot. One thing Gino told us at USA Basketball, he said, listen, you guys are going to go out here and win gold.
Caitlyn Clark crashed out on the ref. You guys know I do the exact same thing, but I'm going to talk about it anyway.
Caitlyn kind of crashes out on the ref at USA Basketball.
Yes.
You guys know I would crash out on refs a lot. One thing Gino told us at USA Basketball, he said, listen, you guys are going to go out here and win gold for your country. He's like, you're not going to have all the endorsements like the men. And we didn't. But he said, you go out there and you win gold for your country.
Did you catch that? Angel Reese just told Caitlyn Clark she needs to stop crashing out on referees because she's about to be on a Wheaties box. And the internet absolutely torched her for it. We're talking thousands of comments calling out the hypocrisy, the logic gaps, and the complete disconnect from reality. Because here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. This wasn't about protecting Caitlyn's image. This was about the old guard trying to police behavior they themselves display every single game.
Be on the Wheaties box. Caitlyn, it probably was a bad call. But right now, you're going to be on the Wheaties box. Who cares if they miss one? You're wearing USA in your chest. It's a bigger stage. The whole world is watching. Kind of be like, okay. Give a little shrug. I'm like, I'm gonna get this next one.
That is really interesting. I had not even considered it that way. My initial reaction was like, well, all is well in women's basketball. Caitlyn's fired up. Like, you know, Caitlyn's crashing out. That's part of it.
Let's break down what actually happened. During a USA Basketball exhibition game, Caitlyn Clark disputed a call with the referee. She looked at the official and said, "Are you serious?" Then everyone moved on. It was a complete non-issue, the kind of moment that happens in literally every basketball game at every level. But Angel Reese and her podcast co-hosts couldn't let it go. They had to turn it into a teaching moment about professionalism and endorsements. The problem? The logic makes absolutely no sense.
That have anything to do with her endorsements? She's killing it in endorsements. The most money of endorsements, even with her crash out. So whatever you said right there, null and void. Cereals box. Apparently she's already been on a cereal box. So whatever you said right there, null and void. The men have endorsements and... What are you talking about? What are you talking... If that's a crash out... man. Like I said, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. She's getting cooked, man.
The comments section became a masterclass in calling out contradictions. First point, what do endorsements have to do with disputing referee calls? Caitlyn Clark has more endorsement money than any player in WNBA history. She's already been on cereal boxes. She signed deals with Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and Wilson before her rookie season even started. Her crash outs haven't hurt her brand one bit. If anything, showing passion and competitiveness is exactly what makes her marketable. Second point, Angel Reese herself is known for crashing out on referees. She's received technical fouls for arguing calls. She's displayed plenty of emotion toward officials throughout her career. So the advice comes across as, do what I say, not what I do.
What got you here? Saying, "Are you serious?" is incorrect, but Angel Reese receives another free pass for displaying an unsportsmanlike behavior and receiving a technical foul. Caitlyn Clark haters are truly irrational. Talking about this. Caitlyn Clark, Angel Reese just boom. Hey, it is what it is. I'm sure I'm gonna get hit for that. I love how y'all highlight negative ass comments about Caitlyn, but don't about any other player. There were moments that others crashed out during the Team USA qualifying games. Please stop with the fake ass media takes.
But here's where it gets really interesting. One commenter pointed out something Angel conveniently left out of her story. During those same USA basketball games, Angel pushed a player to the ground in an off-ball incident that had nothing to do with the play. It was flagrant enough that it could have been called unsportsmanlike conduct. That's the kind of behavior that actually reflects poorly on USA basketball. Not disputing a call. The contrast is stark. Caitlyn questions a referee's judgment on a basketball play. Angel commits an unnecessary physical foul away from the ball. But somehow Caitlyn's the one who needs to be more professional?
Crash out queen. Or they need a crash out jar. Ha ha. CC does it, and it's body language police, school shooter, or somehow privilege. Damn. Kind of looks like to me that Paige, Caitlyn, and Kelsey were all in a mini crash out. Damn, tres leches in a mini crash out. The fact that people comment on CC's crash outs but no one else's, standard type shit.
Let's talk about the Wheaties box comment specifically, because this reveals something important. Angel said Caitlyn's going to be on the Wheaties box, so she needs to act accordingly. First problem, Caitlyn's already been on cereal boxes. Multiple brands. This isn't some future hypothetical. Second problem. Male athletes who appear on Wheaties boxes show emotion, argue calls, and display competitive fire all the time. That's literally part of what makes them champions. The idea that female athletes need to be more controlled, more polished, more perfect than their male counterparts is exactly the kind of double standard the WNBA should be fighting against, not reinforcing.
This is a whole lot of nothing. Moving on. WNBA season is poised to expand to 52 games over the span of its next collective bargaining agreement with players. According to people familiar with the matter, an 18% increase from its current slate of 44 regular season games. We've already seen them complain about back-to-backs. We've already seen them complain about the longevity of the season. Oh my gosh, you don't know what I do to play 44 games. And now we're oh my gosh, we're playing 52 games now. We need to get paid more money, more money.
Now here's the part that really exposes what this is actually about. Multiple comments pointed out that when other players crash out during the unrivaled league or in WNBA games, it's celebrated as passion and competitiveness. It's considered entertaining, but when Caitlin Clark does the exact same thing, suddenly it's a problem. Suddenly it's unprofessional. Suddenly it needs to be discussed on podcasts as a cautionary tale. One viewer nailed it. Anyone else crashes out, it's passion. Crash out queen. But she does it and it's body language police, school shooter, or somehow privilege. That's the pattern. The standards applied to Caitlin are different than the standards applied to everyone else. And it's getting exhausting to watch.
The good thing here is adding games outlined in the CBA should be reflected in the conversation. Pretty sure last year the league added 4 games and players got because no CBA was up. Women's national basketball is eventually expanding to 52 games during this deal. That 52 games is the real win for the owners in the CBA. They said, oh, we're going to squeeze every dime we can get back. Sabaya was already complaining about back-to-back games with the 40-game schedule. What is 52 going to bring? The more we find out about this CBA, the more it looks like it's not such a great deal the players making it to be.
Let's address the whole world is watching argument, because this one's particularly weak. Angel said that because it's USA basketball and the whole world is watching, Caitlin needs to be more composed. But here's the reality. The whole world has been watching Caitlin Clark since her junior year at Iowa. She broke viewership records in college basketball. Her WNBA games drew bigger audiences than most playoff games. Millions of people have watched her play, watched her compete, watched her show emotion on the court. This isn't some unknown player suddenly thrust into the spotlight. The world knows exactly who Caitlin Clark is. They know she's competitive. They know she disputes calls. They know she shows emotion, and they love her for it. That's why the endorsement deals keep coming
out, and the league and the owner should be happy with the revenue coming in from the expansion teams. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.
Here's what this really comes down to. The WNBA just expanded from a 44-game season to 52 games in the new collective bargaining agreement. That's an 18% increase, and we've already heard players complaining about back-to-backs, about travel, about the physical toll of 44 games. Now they're adding 8 more games, and the complaints are going to intensify. But here's the trade-off that nobody wants to talk about honestly. More games means more revenue. More revenue means the revenue-sharing percentage the players negotiated actually means something. If the league only generates $45 million, the player's share is limited. But if the league generates $200 million, suddenly that same percentage is worth a lot more money. The owners won this negotiation. They're going to squeeze every possible dollar out of the expanded schedule, and the players are going to benefit financially, even as they complain about the workload. It's the classic tension in professional sports. Athletes want maximum pay for minimum games, while owners want maximum games for controlled costs. What makes this relevant to the Angel Reese situation is this. The league is finally growing, viewership is up, attendance is up, revenue is increasing. And a huge part of that growth is directly attributable to Caitlin Clark. Her games drive ratings, her presence sells tickets, her star power attracts casual fans who've never watched the WNBA before. So when veteran players like Angel Reese go on podcasts and criticize Caitlin for showing the exact same competitive fire that made her a star in the first place, it comes across as resentment. It looks like the old guard trying to dim the spotlight on the new face of the league, and fans see right through it. The comment section made this crystal clear. Thousands of people defending Caitlin. Thousands of people calling out the hypocrisy. thousands of people pointing out that Angel displays the same behaviors she's criticizing. The fans aren't buying what the old guard is selling anymore. And that's significant, because for years the WNBA struggled with a perception problem. People said the games weren't entertaining enough. The players weren't marketable enough. The league didn't have star power. Then Caitlin Clark shows up with her deep threes, her competitive fire, her willingness to show emotion, and suddenly millions of people are watching. Suddenly the games are selling out. Suddenly major brands are investing in WNBA players. But instead of embracing what's working, we get podcast segments about how she needs to tone it down, how she needs to be more professional, how she needs to think about her image. It's the exact opposite of what the league needs right now. Think about the NBA for a second. When LeBron James argues with referees, does anyone tell him to stop because he has endorsement deals? When Draymond Green shows emotion, does anyone say he's hurting his brand? When Luka Doncic complains about calls, does anyone suggest he's being unprofessional? No, because that passion is part of what makes them compelling to watch. The double standard is obvious. Male athletes are allowed to be emotional, competitive, and fiery. It's considered part of their champion mentality. But female athletes are supposed to be composed, professional, and grateful for the opportunity. And when someone like Caitlin breaks that mold and shows the same fire as her male counterparts, she gets criticized by her own peers. The expansion to 52 games is going to test this league in ways people aren't fully considering yet. Injuries were already a major issue this past season. Multiple stars missed significant time. The schedule was brutal with back-to-back games and limited rest. Now add 8 more games to that grind. The physical toll is going to increase, the injury risk goes up, and the complaints about workload are going to get louder. But here's the thing. If the league is going to survive long-term, it needs to generate sustainable revenue. 52 games is still significantly fewer than the NBA's 82-game schedule. It's still fewer than many international leagues. The expansion is reasonable from a business perspective. The question is whether the players will embrace the opportunity or spend the entire season complaining about it. And that brings us back to the core issue with Angel's comments about Caitlin. The WNBA needs stars who are authentic, who show emotion, who give fans a reason to care about the games. Caitlin Clark does that naturally. She doesn't need to be coached on how to act. She doesn't need veterans telling her to tone it down. She needs to keep being exactly who she is, because that's what's working. The fans get it. That's why the comments section was so overwhelmingly supportive of Caitlin and critical of Angel's take. People aren't stupid. They can see when someone's advice is genuine versus when it's thinly veiled criticism. They can spot hypocrisy, and they're tired of watching the old guard try to police the new stars who are actually growing the league. So here's my question for you. Do you think Angel Reese actually believes what she said, or was this just another attempt to stay relevant by inserting herself into Caitlin Clark's narrative? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like the latter, and the fans clearly agree. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you think I'm being too harsh or if you see this the same way. And if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button because we're going to keep covering all the WNBA drama as this expanded season unfolds.